Imagine this. You wake up one morning and realize something terrifying. The person you used to be no longer exists. Your ambitions feel unfamiliar. Your heart doesn't want what it used to want. Your soul is restless, almost angry, demanding something more. Everyone around you says, just be grateful. Don't overthink. Stay where you are. But deep inside, a voice whispers, no, this life is too small for you now. Carl Jung once wrote that every transformation begins as a crisis of identity. He believed the unconscious does not ask for permission, it demands evolution. And when you resist the call, it will tear your life apart until you listen. So if you feel like the world is collapsing, you're right. It is. Not because you're failing, but because the life you built was never your destiny. Your breakdown is not a malfunction. It is a message. And that message is simple. You are entering the biggest comeback of your life. But you don't see it yet. Your eyes are still adjusting to the darkness before dawn. Your old world is dying. Your new world hasn't fully appeared. Right now, you stand in the liminal space between no longer and not yet. And in this space, signs appear. Not ordinary signs, hidden signs, spiritual signs, signs your soul recognizes instantly. Today, we uncover 10 unseen signs that Jung believed marked the beginning of a massive rebirth, a return of power you forgot you had. If even one of these signs feels eerily familiar, then the universe isn't taking from you. It is clearing the stage for your return. You've already stepped into the shift. There's no turning back. Because this may be the most important message you'll hear this year. Sign 1. Quiet collapse. Life doesn't explode. It unravels. At first, it's almost invisible. Tiny disappointments, little delays, plans that almost work but never quite land. Relationships fade without fights. Passions dry up without warning. Doors close without explanation. You keep telling yourself, it's just a phase. You try to push harder, work longer, care more. But the more you cling, the faster things slip through your fingers. It feels like failure, but it's precision. Something in you has decided, this is no longer enough. The life that once fit you now feels like a costume 2 sizes too small. Your soul starts cutting the threads, even while your mind tries to sew them back. The psyche removes every distraction that kept you asleep. It clears your path by force. Opportunities disappear, so you stop begging for places you were never meant to belong to. People walk away, so you stop shrinking to keep them comfortable. The old story falls apart, so you can no longer pretend it was ever truly yours. This is not collapse. This is demolition. Demolition is loud, messy, terrifying. But it is never random. And demolition only happens when a stronger foundation is waiting to be built. The quiet collapse you're living through now is the universe saying, not here, not like this, not anymore. Sign 2. Forced solitude. People drift away. You notice replies get slower. Invitations come less often. The rooms you used to feel safe in now echo with a strange distance. Some avoid your eyes. Some misunderstand your silence. Some accuse you of changing. And you have. You're no longer willing to laugh at what hurts you. You're no longer willing to betray yourself just to stay included. You've stopped playing the role they fell in love with and started becoming who you actually are. Jung taught that destiny isolates before it elevates. You're not losing people, you're losing illusions. Illusions about who truly sees you. Illusions about what you deserve. Illusions about how small you need to be loved. Because the comeback requires one thing first: to stand alone without abandoning yourself. To be the one person who does not walk away from you when everyone else does. Solitude isn't punishment, it is initiation. Initiation into a life where your worth is not measured by who stays, but by how deeply you stay true to yourself. Sign 3. The shadow demands witness. You begin seeing the parts of yourself you once buried, the fears, the jealousy, the old wounds. The hunger you tried to starve, the truth you tried to hide, they show up in your dreams, in your triggers, in the way your body tenses before your mind finds words. It feels like you're falling backward. You think, I should be past this by now. You mistake exposure for regression. You think the darkness is returning, when in reality it never left. You just finally turned on the light. But Jung warned nothing becomes conscious without first causing chaos. So the chaos you feel right now is not proof that you're broken. It's proof that your psyche is tired of pretending. Your shadow isn't attacking you. It's knocking. It wants integration, not exile. It wants honesty, not denial. It wants you to stop calling yourself a monster for feeling what every human being feels. Let it in. Because everything you refuse to face will run your life in secret. And comebacks built on denial always collapse. Comebacks built on truth never do. Sign 4. A disturbing intelligence awakens. You look at someone and just know they're lying, they're hurting, they're leaving. You can't explain how you know, you just do. Your intuition becomes sharper than logic, and logic tries to gaslight you. You tell yourself you're overreacting. You blame it on anxiety. You try to be reasonable, but your body keeps insisting something is off. Suddenly, your body reacts before your mind understands. A tight chest in a perfect situation, a wave of dread before a message arrives. A strange calm right before everything changes. This isn't paranoia. This is evolution. You're no longer satisfied with surface-level stories. You're starting to read the energy underneath the words. Jung said those entering transformation begin to perceive the invisible architecture of reality. You see what people hide. You feel what people suppress. You notice what others ignore. You're tuned into a deeper frequency, one most people spend their whole lives avoiding. That doesn't make you dramatic. It makes you dangerous. Dangerous to illusions. Dangerous to manipulation. Dangerous to any life built on pretending. Because once you see clearly, you can never again be who you were when you were willing to stay blind. Sign 5. Masks break. You can no longer pretend to be okay when you're not. The smile feels heavy. The I'm fine tastes bitter. The performance drains you faster than any honest pain ever could. You can't shrink to fit anymore. You can't lie to protect comfort. You can't stay silent to keep peace. Every time you try, your body protests. Your throat tightens. Your chest burns. Your energy collapses. Authenticity becomes a survival instinct, not a luxury, not a trend, a necessity. And the world reacts, because when you stop performing, others lose their script. Some will step closer, relieved by your truth. Others will step back, threatened by their own reflection in your honesty. Your vulnerability feels like exposure. Your honesty feels like rebellion. Your truth feels like revolution. Good. Revolution is exactly what a comeback requires. You are not here to resurrect the old version of you. You are here to become the version that no longer apologizes for existing as you are. Sign 6. Synchronicities hunt you down. Repeating numbers, strange dreams, names that follow you, paths that align at impossible timing, moments that feel scripted, as if someone somewhere is arranging scenes behind the curtain. You think of someone, and they appear. You ask for a sign, and the universe answers too quickly. You start to wonder if you're imagining it. Then it happens again and again. This is not coincidence. This is confirmation. The more you listen, the louder it gets. The more you trust, the clearer it becomes. You begin to feel less like you're chasing life, and more like life is choreographing with you. You're no longer moving through life. Life is moving through you. You become a magnet for the right books, the right conversations, the right turning points. Not because you're lucky, but because you're finally aligned with what was always meant for you. If you feel terrified right now, Jung would say, excellent. The ego is losing control, because transformation does not feel safe. It does not feel comfortable. It does not feel positive. It feels like everything familiar is dying, because it is. The world you built was too small. Your dreams were too modest. Your identity was too edited. You weren't born to repeat your past. You were born to return to your power. The greatest comebacks begin in darkness, not because the light is gone, but because you are becoming it. In part 2, we reveal the final 4 unseen signs, the irreversible shifts that prove destiny is taking over, and your comeback is already in motion. If your heart is racing, if your mind is saying this is me, you're not imagining it, you're remembering. Sign 7. Your old dreams feel too small. There comes a moment when the future you once prayed for no longer inspires you, not because you gave up, but because you woke up. The goals that once felt massive now feel like stepping stones. The comfort you once desired now feels suffocating. A strange hunger rises, a hunger for more meaning, more alignment, more life. You try to force enthusiasm for what used to excite you. It doesn't work. Your soul refuses to pretend anymore. It whispers, stop aiming for what you think you can get. Start aiming for what you're truly here to become. Jung believed that when the psyche begins a comeback, the unconscious rejects every dream that was built from fear, approval, or survival. You outgrow the version of you who only wanted to get by. You begin becoming the version who wants to leave a mark. Your new dreams are not louder, just truer. They feel like destiny, not ambition. And once they awaken, they never go back to sleep. Sign 8. The storm before the shift. Every breakthrough demands a storm, and right before destiny arrives, the tests intensify, people provoke you. Unexpected losses hit you, triggers multiply, peace shatters, patience thins, doubts scream, and you ask, why now? Why is everything falling apart right when I finally decided to rise? Because the universe always exposes whatever might sabotage your comeback before your comeback arrives. Your resilience is tested, your boundaries are tested, your identity is tested. The storm is not trying to break you, it's trying to break what cannot come with you. The old coping mechanisms collapse, the old fears surface, the old attachments snap. Everything that was once a lifeline is now revealed as a chain. And in the chaos, one truth emerges. Your strength was never in how well you held on, but in how bravely you can let go. Jung said transformation feels like madness at first, because your psyche must dismantle the old operating system before the new one can download. It's not a setback, it's the final purge. When the storm hits hardest, that's how you know the shift is already underway. Sign 9. A new identity starts whispering. Transformation is not a leap, it's a replacement. Before the new you arrives with clarity, you feel its presence. You catch glimpses, a sudden confidence you didn't have before, a boundary that forms without fear, a truth you speak without apology. You start doing things the older version of you would never do. You walk away sooner. You choose yourself faster. You trust your intuition louder. The mirror becomes less about appearance and more about recognition. You begin to ask, who am I now? And the answer arrives quietly, in instinct, in courage, in choice. Jung called this the rebirth of the self, the moment your inner world stops being shaped by trauma and starts being shaped by truth. You are not becoming someone new. You are returning to who you were before the world told you who to be. The comeback isn't just success returning, it's you returning. And suddenly, you look at the past, not with longing, but with clarity. I finally understand why it had to happen this way. That understanding is identity. That understanding is freedom. That understanding is power. Sign 10. A strange calm rising inside you. Right before transformation becomes visible, peace arrives first. Not a loud, triumphant peace. Not the kind that comes from the world applauding you. Not the peace of everything is perfect. A deeper peace. A sacred peace. A peace that says no matter what happens next, I trust myself. You feel it in the quiet moments. The mornings when fear used to scream, but now you rise with a quiet strength you can't explain. The nights where overthinking once drowned you, but now your soul whispers, you survived the worst. What's coming can only be better. The chaos around you may still roar, but inside there is a knowing that what is meant for you is finally making its way to you. A knowing that your comeback is not a fantasy, but a fact unfolding in real time. A knowing that everything that left cleared space for everything that's arriving. Jung wrote that when the soul reaches alignment, the nervous system finally stops bracing for impact, not because danger is gone, but because you are no longer afraid of it. This quiet confidence, it's the final sign. The moment where the old identity surrenders and the new one steps forward without trembling. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. You are not waiting for your comeback. You are in it. Every sign you just read is a marker of transformation already in motion. You didn't imagine it. You didn't exaggerate it. You didn't make it up. Your life is pivoting. Your power is returning. Your destiny is rising from the depth of everything that once tried to bury you. The pain you survived was the initiation. The chaos you endured was the cleansing. The silence you feared was the preparation. And now the story changes. Not someday, not when things work out, not if the timing is right. Now you are stepping into the chapter your soul has been trying to write for years. A chapter where you lead, where you expand, where you thrive, where you remember exactly who you are. Your comeback isn't coming, it has already begun. And in part 3, the final chapter, we will dive into the activation, how to step fully into your rising, how to turn this transformation into momentum, and how to become unstoppable. In the life that is finally aligned with who you were always meant to be, there is one last truth you must hear, and it awaits you. If you feel that electricity in your chest, if your intuition is saying don't stop, if your eyes are stinging and you don't know why, that is not emotion, that is awakening. You're ready for what comes next. You've recognized the signs. You've survived the collapse. You've endured the storm. You've watched the old identity die and the new one rise inside you like a secret sunrise. But awareness is only the beginning. Now comes the activation. Now comes the moment where your inner rebirth becomes your outer reality, where everything you felt begins to unfold. Jung believed that a comeback is not luck. It is conscious participation with your destiny, a sacred agreement between who you were and who you are becoming. You've reached the turning point, not the end of the story, the beginning of your return. Here's the final truth. Your comeback isn't waiting for permission, it's waiting for you. Below are the 3 forces Jung believed turn transformation into power, and power into a life you can finally feel proud of. If you integrate these, nothing will be able to stop what's coming next. Not fear, not doubt, not the past, not the world. Force 1, honor the work you've done in the dark. You didn't heal for applause. You healed because something inside you insisted you deserved more than suffering, that deserves recognition, your own recognition. The nights you held yourself together, that mattered. The mornings you kept going with a heavy heart, that mattered. Every tear, every breakdown, every hard truth, that mattered. You built a strength that nobody sees, but everyone will soon feel. Honor that. Jung said the unconscious becomes unstoppable when it is acknowledged. Your comeback begins the moment you finally admit to yourself, I made it through what was meant to destroy me. There is no power greater than that. Force 2, choose the life that chooses you back. Your heartbreaks taught you something priceless. Who cannot love you in your truth has no right to love you in your triumph. You are done chasing, done begging, done settling. Your energy becomes a filter. What is meant for you will stay. What is not will fall away. Relationships rooted in fear will crumble. Relationships rooted in truth will deepen. New connections will appear, calm, aligned, undeniable. Your career shifts too, because you will no longer tolerate a life that pays you in stress and robs you of purpose. Your comeback demands reciprocity. If it drains you, it cannot remain. If it expands you, it is meant for you. Jung wrote that the true self never negotiates peace with anything that diminishes it. You are not creating a new life. You are allowing the life that has been waiting to finally reach you. Force 3, step into the world as the one who returned. There is a moment in every comeback where fear tries one last time to pull you back. You'll feel doubt whisper, "Are you sure you're ready?" You'll hear the old voice say, "Don't risk it, stay small, stay safe." But that voice is a ghost, the echo of someone you've already outgrown. You don't need to be fearless to rise. You just need to stop letting fear lead. Jung believed the greatest leap in a comeback is the moment you decide, I will not abandon myself ever again. That decision is the activation. That decision is the turning point. That decision is the comeback made visible. Because when you walk into the world as the person who has returned to their own power, everything shifts. Opportunities reveal themselves. Doors open that were never supposed to be closed. People treat you differently, not because they changed, but because you did. You become magnetic, aligned, unshakable. You become the proof that resurrection is possible. You have been tempered by fire. You have been humbled by loss. You have been purified by truth. And now life is ready to give back everything it once took, multiplied, not because you're lucky, not because the universe owes you, but because you finally became the person who can carry the blessing. Look at yourself. Look at everything you survived. You didn't come this far to only come this far. This next chapter is where it happens. The recognition, the alignment, the breakthrough, the love, the calling, the return. Your comeback is not an idea anymore. It is inevitable. There is power in declaring your truth out loud. If something in you woke up while listening, if something in you whispered, finally, if your soul is saying, I know this is for me, then place your mark on this moment. Write in the comments, I am entering my comeback, not as a hope, not as a wish, as a proclamation. Let the world and your unconscious hear you. Because comebacks aren't private destinies. They are public revolutions. And someone out there is waiting for permission to rise too. Permission they will feel the moment they see that you chose yourself. Like this message. Share it so it reaches others who need the reminder they are not done yet. Subscribe so you don't forget what you now remember. We rise together, from darkness into embodiment. Jung once wrote, I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. You have chosen. And because you chose, your comeback has already begun. Welcome back. Your life missed you.